By pushing hardware limitations beyond their seeming breaking point and revolutionizing video game narratives, video games can not only define themselves, but their home hardware as entirely ahead of their time. Ranging from first-party titles and Xbox-utilized multi-platform installments, games that are ahead of their time are not only revolutionary in vast swathes of the industry, but they can quietly inspire a whole host of future video game development. The video game industry is inherently incremental, with titles iterating and revolutionizing each other's gameplay and mechanical developments. However, while the impact that Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare had on the industry is well documented, it's genuinely quite difficult to truly comprehend from a contemporary perspective. Ditching the well-trod trenches and bunkers of historical conflict for a take on modern warfare as it stood within the West's War on Terror, 2007's Call of Duty title not only defined a generation of players, but introduced the industry to tropes and mechanics that it is still wrestling with to this day. These range from grey hat undercover operatives to a Middle Eastern-inspired military conflict against an intangible terrorist force. Alongside the evolution of FPS multiplayer to include creator-class mechanics alongside kill streaks and kill cams, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a staple of the genre even nearly 20 years later. Bolster that fact with Microsoft's 2023 acquisition of Call of Duty's IP holder, Activision Blizzard, alongside the Modern Warfare sub-series reboot in 2019, and the position of the title as instrumental on Xbox is difficult to deny. Bolstered by professional consultation and atmospheric gameplay, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is not only a seminal title of the 8-console generation, but it's a quintessential work in the depiction of mental health in video games. While originally released as a console exclusive on Sony's PlayStation 4, the consistent drive and polish of Ninja Theory seemingly encouraged Microsoft to acquire the independent AAA studio in 2018, pushing the envelope regarding motion and facial capture alongside Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice's portrayal of psychosis in its titular character. Ninja Theory's 2017 release is not only industry-defining, but pivotal to the Xbox ecosystem through the English studio's emergence as a top-tier member of Xbox Game Studios. While Fable's reputation as a groundbreaking title standing on a mound of unfulfilled promises is not unwarranted, the 3D action RPG has been solidified as one of Microsoft's staple IPs for the 6th and 7th console generations. Looking beyond the promises of planting an acorn and watching it grow in real time, the Monty Python-esque sarcasm and wit of Fable's 2004 release cemented it as a quintessential title for the original Xbox console. With an arguably revolutionary karma system balancing player actions with long-term consequences, Fable's crude humor and polished gameplay are a testament to Peter Molyneux's vision for the Fable series. Although its genre pivot and dynamic lighting and shadows have since somewhat segregated it from the rest of ID Software's FPS lineage, Doom 3 is not only a technical showcase on PC, but a frankly unimaginable port to the original Xbox console. In prioritizing a claustrophobic cinematic atmosphere over the gung-ho gunslinging of Doom's fast-pacing lineage, John Carmack and the team at ID redefined Doom 3 as a quasi-horror experience. Utilizing revolutionary shadow volume techniques, Doom 3's shadows and lighting became industry-defining. Beyond that, its place on Xbox hardware seemingly proclaimed Microsoft's fledgling console a powerhouse system compared to Sony's PlayStation 2 and Nintendo's GameCube. Within its bounds as a movie tie-in of Peter Jackson's 2005 eponymous King Kong motion picture. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, excels at not only defining the world of Skull Island, but redefining first-person titles with a surprisingly minimalist take on the genre. Free from the obtrusive HUDs synonymous with FPS titles, alongside dynamic physics and environmental gameplay, Ubisoft Montpellier's licensed game is an engineering showcase on the 6th generation of consoles. Beyond that, Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, also led the way in Microsoft's launch lineup of titles for their 7th celebration, Hardware. Halo Combat Evolved's position within not only Xbox but the video game industry is effectively next to unshakable. The paramount first-person shooter on the original Xbox console, Master Chief has gone on to become the de facto poster child for the Xbox ecosystem, and the Halo games now make up one of the most recognizable franchises of the entire video game industry. Pushing the Xbox to the front of consumers' minds, Halo Combat Evolved not only launched the Xbox system itself in 2001, but oversaw saw the launch of Microsoft as a titan of the entire video game industry, redefining the first-person shooter genre on consoles, and introducing FPS concepts such as a limited inventory of 2 weapons and regenerative health. Halo Combat Evolved is arguably not only simply a title ahead of its time for the Xbox console space, but ahead of its time in the video game landscape. In a contemporary setting with Elder Scrolls discourse so dedicated to the lasting influence of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim's 2011 release, The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind's position in popular culture is seemingly diminished as a result. However, with its more clear-cut tabletop inspiration and same-year console port to Xbox, the Bethesda Game Studios' 2002 RPG is a formative title for the genre on home consoles. While arguably less smoothed out and well-oiled compared to Skyrim, Morrowind's ultimate focus on immersion and creativity positions it as an ultimately more interactable title. Beyond that, Morrowind's pseudo-magical port to the then-new Xbox solidified the series as a staple of the RPG genre on consoles, especially within Microsoft's ecosystem. This perspective is only reinforced by Microsoft's interest in Bethesda as a game studio, culminating in its 2021 acquisition of ZeniMax Media. Although the idiom "does it run Crysis" has since been quietly phased out of regular use, the place of Crytek's 2007 FPS powerhouse as a staple of the genre and the industry is still as concrete as ever. While the seminal FPS title still puts even the most competent PC builds to shame sometimes, the creation of a console port to 7th generation hardware is peculiarly solid. Despite some stark streamlining and omissions, Crysis on Xbox 360 is arguably similarly boundary pushing for the aged Xbox console as it was on PC. With foliage and structures dynamically breaking and bending with user interaction, the 2011 port, 4 years after the original release, put the genre and hardware-defining FPS into console players' hands for the first time.